Just to add to that point, actually, because I was just reflecting now, what the 3+1 will do is it will bring students and give them the opportunity to experience FinTech, analytics, etc. But there is nothing stopping those students from actually saying, oh, wow, I really enjoyed it, and I want to do a more technical master's degree. And Bradford has so many engineering degrees, computer science, software engineering, artificial intelligence, the more science side of artificial intelligence. We've even launched a space AI. We are the only university in the north to have a space AI center. So the world is pretty open for these young boys and girls who want to pursue that careers. So it really opens up a wide, as Kamran, kind of a nice illustration of the opening up the beam, and even he switched it on. It's beyond the business school, right? I think that's really important, and giving those students the opportunity, because the partnership that we have, the memorandum of understanding, it's not just for students within the business school. It opens up for students to progress into other areas, to do research, because that's something that's really important, because, the academic colleagues that are going to work together, we want to encourage them to do research. That's really something very important, I think. So,
And Vishanth, just on that, I really want to emphasize the fact that, students from Pakistan come with, they're really well placed with the technical skills already. So they have really solid grounding in your schooling systems when they're going through college and at university. So for us, it's about how do we hone those skills? How do we make them into people who are orators, who can articulate with confidence? And that's really the key thing for us. It's working to the strengths of the students. And of course, as you know, the MSc Applied AI course is about hybridity of skills. And it's not just and this is why it's in the business school. We are not just focusing on, statistical gymnastics, right? We're not just doing data for the sake of doing it. Okay, how do you present the data to a non-technical audience? And we have a mix of assessments, group work, things that actually the students will experience in a real busy, vibrant work environment. And I think that's, again, part of preparing the student and preparing the student's skills. Rabeeya, what do you think?
Kamran, it is. Kamran, how do you think studying at Bradford can help our students get adjusted into the job market? The students will be very interested to know that.
No, that's a fantastic question, Rabeeya. So I think, first of all, the University of Bradford is big on skills. The knowledge is important, but you need to be able to translate that through the skills that you have. And as a university itself, within the School of Management, and in fact, Vishanth introduced this going back many years ago, we have something called the Career Booster Program. Okay. So this is now an example of how we are doing things which are more innovative and more value for money. So we would have traditionally, and you have them, I was talking to students yesterday in one of the sessions, and you have traditional reading weeks where the students will not do any teaching or any seminars in that particular week, and they will essentially, try to catch up on their reading, etc. And as we know, I've been a student myself, and so have we all. Exactly. That's an opportunity for us to catch up on TV and to do everything but to read. And in fact, sometimes the students will come back and they've actually lost ground rather than keep the momentum going. So we introduced a skills-based week where we get consultants coming from outside. So again, this is kind of targeting the skills that we have been told by employers that actually many of the graduates, not just from Pakistan, from across a wide spectrum, these skills are the ones that they are lacking, like art of negotiation, mental resilience, being able to articulate complex ideas in a simple way.
Even before the show, we were talking about confidence and communication skills.
So important in a digital age. And just to kind of close the loop on that question, so we're building them with the right relevant skills, but then what we also have in Bradford is a fantastic network of organizations that we work with. So our Office for Students funded program, part of the grants that we put in actually to receive the funding in 2019, it was over £1 million and under £1 million in 2023.
Oh, wow.
A host of businesses actually wrote letters of support for us. From large anchor public sector institutions to SMEs to specialist technology companies saying we are in support of this program. So there's a wide network of companies that we also work with where job opportunities are available because they know we've designed the programs to their needs.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's another thing I would like to discuss with you, Kamran and Vishanth. We as a business school suffer a lot at times in terms of the academia-industry relationship in Pakistan. Industry in Pakistan, unfortunately, doesn't understand how they should cooperate and collaborate with academia. So we get together at some instances, and we've been trying hard to get with the industry and bring them on board, and we've been involving them, executives from the industry, to come and deliver short lectures to our students. But in the real sense, we're not being able to take the industry on board for the teaching and everything. And another difference that I've felt, I've been traveling a lot to the UK, I've seen how industry takes academia on board in terms of R&D for their own launch of new products and whatsoever. And all the students from the universities are taken on board for the research and development of those industries. So that's where a huge gap is. So how do you think that our students are going to benefit when they are with you in Bradford? And because I've seen a couple of your programs with industry focus, and proper industry placement is there available there. So how do you think our students are going to benefit from this industry placement?
Let me briefly and then I'll pass you to Kamran to talk about the Applied AI program in particular. So this is a very good question because you got to remember that industry, whether it's in Pakistan, whether it's in the UK, businesses have their own pressures, right? So whatever collaboration that happens need to be reciprocal. The benefits need to be both for the university and the industry partners. So often we kind of ask the industry partners to come and give guest lectures. Time for senior managers is very, very critical. So what we do is kind of work closely with industry partners to understand what the university can do for industry partners, and in return, how does that collaboration work? So a simple example is we created something called Bradford Business Challenge to look at problems that companies face, and we invite local companies to come up with their big challenges that they face, and we then offer these challenges to students as part of their research projects. And the students will undertake the project, real-world project, solving a problem, whether it's in the public sector, private sector. Students are working across, and it's a 40 credit worth of real work that the employers benefit from. And in some cases, actually, employers like the work so much, they might end up recruiting the student. So, but it's a very challenging area. I don't think it's just constrained within the Pakistani context. It's in the UK, it's the same issue. So it's about striking that balance of reciprocality between the partners.
Kamran.
And also, we've tried to find more innovative ways in nurturing that relationship with industry. So, for example, the MSc Applied AI course, it has a 3-month placement opportunity. And often a placement opportunity is associated with undergraduate degrees. So we have a 3-month placement after a student has submitted their thesis, if they are able to get onto the placement. And again, we have a wide net of, in fact, if I was to go through my phone now, most of the contacts in here, I would say, are industry friends now who actually would ring me and say, this is the type of project I've got. Do you have a relevant student? So that 3-month placement again is a way in which it's it's a low-hanging fruit for a business, because it's a small commitment. It means that by putting somebody through the placement, they already are doing their kind of pre-evaluation of the recruitment. And again, if they find that the students really hit the mark, there are opportunities to stay. I mean, how many of the students do you know, Vishanth, who've come from Pakistan and who are actually working in industry and supporting the program? So it's not that they will do the program, they'll get the job, and they'll come back and speak to our students.
Yes,
I mean, Ali is an example.
Absolutely, and I think that's where this kind of partnership, where you know your students in the first 3 years, we get to know them through you, and when the students come, we know what the strengths and weaknesses of those students are. Ultimately, the end result here, the focus is to ensure that the students are given the best opportunity to succeed. Right? So this is what we are doing. We are not just randomly getting a student admitted to Bradford. It's a journey that there is no difference between a student spending 3 years at Bradford as opposed to the first 3 years that they're going to spend in Lahore, because the curriculums have been mapped. We have co-created, and we will be involved in supporting some of those students, through the Career Booster program, for example. So it's really the ultimate objective is to ensure that the students are given the best possible. It's of course up to the students to work hard. There's no question about that, right? So, but we want to create that platform. And I said earlier, South Asian students are some of the cleverest students that we see. And Kamran mentioned the fact that many of the students go on to
Professor Vishanth, I'm also thinking that this is a wonderful national cause for business school like Lahore Business School in Pakistan, taking the youth responsibility in their own hand, whatever the number Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us, taking them in hand, sending them to Bradford. They get all the knowledge of AI and FinTech and digital marketing and everything with the professors like you. Business school over here, they try to level best to prepare them to go to UK, so they get the taste of the both cultures and professors, and then they come back and serve this nation. And I think Pakistan on the verge where we need such talent, those who are globally trained and those who have all the technology learned from the top economies of the world under the umbrella of the top faculty of Bradford. Such a wonderful arrangement. I must appreciate this is a wonderful national cause service here.
I'm glad you said that, because it's about exposure. It's giving the students a platform to showcase their talent. Coming to the UK and really testing your skills and seeing actually, how do I compete with international students and international cohorts. And as I've said, often we overlook the achievements of the system in Pakistan, because you really prepare your students well when it comes to academic skills, technical skills, and it's really us trying to polish that up for them. And let's not also forget the students that will come to Pakistan. They'll be part of a large contingency of students who are already from Pakistan, and we have a large Pakistani.
Bradford is considered to be a second home for Pakistani.
It is, you will, literally coming out from the campus, you will see the local flavor foods. My Lahore, of course, a fantastic British Asian kitchen. My Lahore, resonating with Lahore itself. So you have the local culture.
Find mosque there, and you
Absolutely.
can pray.
You have prayer facilities on campus. You have prayer facilities in and around the university campus. So you will be coming to an environment that you will be very comfortable with, and which will make you feel even more at home.
You really touched to ma'am. Ma'am, you want to say something?
I want to add another thing, another important thing that I think parents will be focused at. In Pakistan, the graduates going abroad, working people going abroad is considered to be like a brain drain, right? But to me, it's not a brain drain. I don't look at it this way. I think it's the multiplication of knowledge and ideas that comes as a result. So keeping them here by force without any job or unemployed brings in more destruction than sending them abroad, get knowledge, get the feel of the culture, get ideas, and then working somehow the other way indirectly for our country is better option. What do you think?
I 100% agree, Professor Rabeeya, because I think that's the whole idea. I said earlier, it's about global citizenry and exposing the students and giving the opportunity. I think Pakistan is still not ready for the type of skills that you're producing at University of Lahore. The country is progressing slowly, and we need leaders of the future who are going to get that global exposure, and at some point they are going to return. Don't worry, they will return to make that contribution when the country is ready. So I think it's really important. But I just also wanted to touch upon, I was just reflecting here about the whole experience. The University of Bradford, for us, we are very passionate about making education affordable and accessible to all, right? Whether you're coming from Africa, from South Asia, from China, from Europe, the US. And we are the University of the Year for 3 years or 4 years running now on social mobility. Excellent. Okay, so what social mobility means is that we add value to our students more than any other university. Our students generally come from working class backgrounds, and we focus on giving them more in terms of value than any other university, and this is part of, we do it very well in Bradford. And we want to now take that message to the world, to South Asia to start off with.
And kind of just on a finishing note, because I think we've hit all the right points, it's, you students listening to this, you will be joining a family. Yeah. And those who have graduated from Bradford still consider us to be a family. And I've had many students, those who are from the UK, those who have international students who may have done an undergraduate in a different university. And what they say is the level of support we get from our academics, it's unmatched. Mm-hmm. And remember, when I said the support, you have your module leaders, you have your program leaders, you have your personal academic tutors, you have pastoral cares. We have something called student success advisors. So we have actually a group of colleagues whose entire mission is to ensure a student is successful. So this is why people feel they're at home and they feel like it's a family even after leaving, because of the support they got. And I often say in life there are individuals who, and we've all been there, Vishanth has been a mentor for me in my academic career, going back to many other colleagues who have done so. And, it's in life you will find people who will just kind of push you in the right way or go above and beyond, more than what you need to do. And that's what makes the difference. And that's for me the social mobility. And that's for me giving an opportunity for somebody to really succeed. So, if you are interested in coming, please, we welcome you with open arms. Feel free to get in touch with us. There'll be many forums. We'll be returning. The team will be coming to Bradford. And this is a part of a very long-term strategy that we have to make this partnership work.
Excellent. I'm really thankful, Professor Kamran, Professor Vishanth, Dr. Rabeeya, the Dean FMS. I'm so happy, because there are so many commonalities. When you talk about the vision of the both universities, the philosophy of the both universities, I know that Lahore Business School runs one of the biggest national outreach program. When you were talking, I was feeling so happy, and even when Kamran was talking, it's like Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has given us an opportunity to work hand in hand, where there is no difference apparently in terms of the philosophy and the vision. And on ground, we're doing so many things in common. It will be a wonderful avenue, I believe, for our faculty, staff, and management to learn from each other. It's a noble cause we are in. We are the one with the title teachers, especially. Then our admin role comes in later. It's our moral obligation that we should guide our youth, like our own daughters and son, towards a fruitful career. And that's where I think there's a better future. And that's where I think when a teacher takes responsibility of guiding a student, it will definitely do his job or her job very well. I'm really thankful to all three of you, and I will propose a motion that we should carry on such discussions in future. I know you will be going back to Bradford,
Oh, yes,
but
we can
now
do
the
this online
technology, we can have
exactly.
technology, and we can be online here. You can be online over there, with more staff into it, more people into it, because just now Kamran touched a very important aspect, that is the support service to the students. The moment they fly from here, how Bradford is going to take care of them from airport till the hostel and all. There are a lot of questions that there will be in my mind and in my audience mind.
Vishanth, you may want to add just before Rabeeya says something here that we received recognition for welcoming students, the best university. You may want to add
I
to
think
that.
there's an international student barometer which is run every year. It measures the big countries, the UK, Australia, Canada, and the US, and we have been constantly ranked first three. For welcome experience, for student experience, the support we provide our international students, pastoral support, etc. So that's something that, for us, internationalization is about acting responsibly and ensuring. And this is why I was just again reflecting about this partnership. We receive so many requests for partnerships. Everybody wants to do mobility. Everybody wants to do research. But what we are looking for is meaningful partnerships that will, you very eloquently put it, our job is to ensure that as academics, that we look after our students, we guide them, and we become inspirations for them. And that's what we want to do. So, this is one of these very rare occasions where we have gone beyond the normal research kind of collaborations and mobility collaborations to a curriculum level partnership, because we see a responsible institution in Pakistan with a great vision, as with keeping with this founder. And when I met the team from Lahore, I saw a similar vision, and I think that's very important, to act responsibly, and I see this really progressing well, and we want to make that difference. We want to see our students from both institutions making a real difference. If you look at our missions and visions in the university, it's about creating citizens that will be socially responsible, make a difference to where they live, and we've got to work together. It's hard work, don't forget. These things don't happen overnight, and this is only the beginning for me.
Very true.
And towards the end of it, I'm really grateful to Professor Vishanth, Professor Kamran, the whole management of the Bradford University and the Bradford School of Management especially, for making this dream come into reality.
I think this calls for a selfie.
Okay, yeah.